Dear student, welcome you to this class, and in this class we will learn. And in this is the fifth lecture of this series, and in this lecture we will learn the following topics. Number one is writing equation, how to write equation in LaTeX editor, and after that writing bibliography or references. Because in some documents, if we wish to write, there in that cases we can get some information from other articles or reports or journals, and they should be cited. That means they should be referenced in your document. Then okay, now go to our first topic, that is writing equation. One of the important reasons of using LaTeX editor is that it is exceptionally good one for typing equation in your document. That means rather comparing to other text or Word documents such as Microsoft Word or Word or anything or similar type of Word editor, text editor, the LaTeX editor is very much useful and very it has plenty number of fascination or different kind of tools to write or typesetting the equation, and you can fantastically type your equation that you wish to write, and it can be done very comfortably, and the formatting of those equation become very interesting in this type of in the case of LaTeX editor. Okay, so let us start with very beginning one. Now we wish to write an equation, so let us here concentrate in this area. In this area here we have discussed about how to write the equation in case in your LaTeX document. Okay, so to do this, if you wish to write an equation within a sentence, then you have to use dollar sign. That equation should be enclosed by two dollar signs. So let us we wish to write 2x plus 3y is equal to 5. So to write this within a sentence, since it belongs to a sentence in this sentence, so we have to use dollar sign before starting the equation, and after ending this equation another dollar sign should be used, and then gives a result x is equal to 2.5 for y is equal to 0. With this also written within this sentence, so dollar sign here and here and here and here should be used, and this this symbol actually produces new line. Okay, so here is that the output is here. The equation 2x plus 3y is equal to 5 gives our result x equal to 2.5 for y is equal to 0. This is this has this is the output of this line. So from here you have, if you desire to write an equation within a sentence, the equation should be written within a pair of dollar signs. Okay, now this equation, this is the equation that you have written here, and you wish to write this can be written in another style, another format. This is the another format, and if you wish to write this equation in its own line, that is in different lines, then you can write in this way. Dollar sign is there, 2x plus 3y is equal to 5, and this gives you the result x is equal to 2.5 or y is equal to 0. So this is what it will produce. This is the output, and that means this can also be written as this line is here, and if you write this as dollar sign, you have used a couple of dollar signs before the equation, and after the equation another pair of dollar signs. So, and in all these cases this will produce like this: 2x is equal to 3y is equal to 5, and this gives result x is equal to 2.5 for y is equal to 0. And here is another equation format or another style of writing equation. See here, or can also be written as, and the common structure is here begin backslash begin equation. This is the comment for beginning a equation, and then 2x plus 3y is equal to 5, and this is the end equation. That means this equation will end here, and this will actually, if you use in this style or in this format, it will produce a equation like this: 2x plus 3y is equal to 5 with the equation number. So to writing an equation with a number, you have to write it in this fashion. That is, it should be its common structure should be backslash begin, then within the curly brackets write equation, then here is the equation, after that end equation. And if you wish to write this one, that is for x, this gives a result x is equal to 2.5 for y is equal to 0, you can write in this way also. And to write this, here write begin equation, then x is equal to 2.5 for y is equal to 0, end equation, and that will give you the output here like this. So, or here is that, or can be written, can also be written as, that is it, 2x plus 3y is equal to 5. This is equation number 1, which gives the result x is equal to 2.5 for y is equal to 0. This is equation number 2. So if you wish to write equation number with your equation, then you have to go to this format or this style. Next, go to our next one. Here is that the result. Here is the equation. This gives a result. Okay. This is another style. So the first one is remains the same, that we written in our that we have written in our early or the previous slide. So the new one is here. This was written in our previous slide also. So this is, we are not interesting here because we know this. Now we come to this one. Now we come to this part. If your equation has a number of equalities, or if you have a number of equation, then or inequality, then you have to use the equation array. So begin, then equation arrow EQN and this will produce your equation having number with a number of series of equations. So if you use this backslash begin, then within curly bracket EQN array, then a is equal to b plus c, then right here double backslash, that will produce a new line that is equal to x minus 1. Many times we have to write our equation in this way, and this will give you the output as here, as given as here. So write to writing an equation in this way, that is a is equal to b plus c, and also a is equal to x minus 1. Then you have to use, since this a is equal to these and these, that means here are a number of equations present in this case. So if you have a number of equations or inequalities, then you have to use this command, that is backslash begin EQN array, then your equations or inequalities, then end EQN array, and these will produce like this. So sometimes we have to write a series of equation in this, and we can employ the structure like this. We can use the structure like this. Now go to our next one. Here is that if see here, all these equation has a number. All the equations have numbers, and now if you desire to not to write the equation number, or if you don't want any equation number, then you can start like this. So this equation, all these things was in our previous slide. So we are not going to this. Just come to these lines. And here, see here, begin equation. Here I have used a star sign, then 2x plus 3y equation, end equation star. If you wish, or if you need not any equation number to give equation number, then write just a star with equation after equation within the curly brackets. So then 2x plus 3y is this, and this is the end, the comment for ending this equation. So this will produce it like this. Yes, see here, 2x plus 3y is equal to 5. Okay, and then which gives a result, begin equation. Here I have used star, and then I have used here another star. So all these things, all these equations will not have any number. So here are that those are here, and and last one is this. Here, see here, we are here to write two equations, two equalities. To write those two equalities, we know that the structure should be, the command should be like this: begin equation array, and end equivalent error, and then within this the equalities will be written. And see here I have used a star sign here and star character also here. So this will produce our output without any equation number. So that is here. So I hope that you understand this. And now another things to go, another topic is to discuss here is that equation including power and indices. So sometimes your equations may have power and indices, and then you can use LaTeX editor to write them. And in case of LaTeX editor, it is where it can be written magnificently. So here is the common here is the these equations are here. So consider that you have to write x is equal to n square, this equation. So right here begin equation, and that means here star sign is absent here. That means this equation will have a number, equation number, and this is the end equation. So x is equal to n hat 2. So writing the power of an the power of a character or a number, then you have to use hat sign, hat character. Okay, so this will give you x is equal to n square. So n square, to writing power you have to use hat sign. So this will give you n hat 2, that means n square. If you use that x is equal to n hat 5, that will produce x is equal to n to the power 5. So that is here, the output is here. And then see here another interesting thing, another interesting line. See here I have written simple example of equations having power and indices. Okay, so before that I have used this command text sc, that means small capital. So here is the small letters, but it will produce capital letters. So that is here. So now let us go to the next one. Here is here is the case where we have to write indices. So that is here the equation is some consider that the equation is r is equal to p pm. So that is the indices is m. To write this you have to use writing indices, you have to use underscore sign. So this is the underscore sign. So r is equal to p underscore m, that will produce the indices m. So next go to the another example, that is here. So if the power consists of more than one character, then you have to write that power within curly brackets. So that is here. So y is equal to n hat 2x minus 3, that is in this case the power consists of more than two characters, more than one character. Okay, for more than one character you have to use curly pair of curly brackets. So y is equal to n hat within curly brackets 2x minus 3 will produce y is equal to n to the power 2x minus 3. And similarly in the case of indices, if the indices contains more than one character, then you have to use a pair of curly brackets. That means r is equal to p underscore within curly brackets m minus 5, that will produce r is equal to p m minus 5. So these are the examples to how to write the powers or indices within an equation. So let us go to our next one slide. And in this slide, or in this case, we will learn how to write a fraction. So this is to write a fraction. The command, the structural command should be write as begin equation, okay, and then end equation. This is the common structure, you know. And within this, if you wish to or desire to write a fraction, then you have to use this command backslash frac. Backslash frac will produce the fraction, and in this, you know, the fraction has a numerator and a denominator, and the numerator should be written within a pair of curly brackets, and after that the denominator should be written within a pair of curly brackets. So that means backslash frac within curly bracket a, this a is the numerator and this b is the denominator. So that means frac a within curly brackets and then b within curly bracket will produce a by b. That is here. Okay, you see here, that is the output here. And another example is here, and in this example, see here frac, and this is within this curly brackets. See here, this pair of curly brackets, we have written this 2x minus 3 plus a hat 2. That means 2x minus 3 plus a square will be the numerator, that is here. 2x minus 3 plus a square is the numerator, and then x plus a plus 1, this is the denominator, that is here, x plus a plus 1. Another example is here. Another example is here, that is frac. That so the fraction is starting here, and this is the starting curly brackets of the numerator, and this is the end of the numerator. So within these, that means from here to here is the numerator, and in this numerator we have written a backslash frac. This is that means another fraction is started here, and within this fraction, see here, this within this curly bracket, x square, x hat 2, that means x square, plus y hat 2 means y square minus 2 within here is a curly bracket. So this is the that is x square plus y square minus 2 is the numerator, and then 2x plus 1 is the denominator, and then minus 3y plus 5. So it will produce x square plus y square minus 2 by 2x plus 1 minus 3y plus 5. This is the numerator of this fraction, the first starting fraction, and then within this curly bracket, this is the denominator of the whole thing, this way of this fraction, and within these within the denominator I have used another fraction, and it has started from here, and 2x minus 3 is the numerator, and x plus y is the denominator, then minus 1, that is here 2x minus 3 by x plus 1, x plus y minus 1. So just to look at this and compare this output, everything will be clear to you. Now next go to another section, and in this section we will learn how to write roots of a number, and that is there. You know that this is the common structure. This is the common structure of writing an equation, and to write the square root of a number, you have to use the command, that is backslash sqrt, and the number should be written within a pair of curly brackets. So this is right written here. You see the equation is written here: x is equal to square backslash sqrt, then within curly brackets y hat 2, that means it will produce x is equal to square root of y square, that is here x is equal to square root of y square, and then another equation is here, begin equation is equal to square root, okay, square root, then within the number should be written within the curly bracket. So this curly bracket and this curly bracket will contain the number whose square root should be calculated. And here see that in here first one is written as frac xi, that means I have used here another fraction. So xi is the, so you know that this should be written with underscore. So frac xi will give you xi as numerator, and then z is the denominator, and after that is y. So it is here a equal to square root xi by z into y. So in a similar way, here if you used to find out the square root of in like this, square root of x square minus y square. To write this, you have to write it as like this: z is equal to square root, then square bracket should be used to find out the root, this a. If you use to write this equation, z is equal to a root x square minus y square in this way, then this h should be written within a square bracket, that is here, and then within the curly bracket the number should be written, that is x square minus y square, that is here x hat 2 minus y hat 2, and the end equation. And it is another example, and in this example a fraction, this is more complicated. Just look at this and compare this, and this will produce your output like this. So here is z is equal to fraction is started here, and this fraction is started in, and this should be and the first term, that is these up to this will this is the your numerator, and from this curly bracket to this curly bracket is your denominator. So in the numerator, x hat 2 plus y hat 2 plus c hat 2, that means x square plus y square plus c square, that is here x square plus y square plus z square, since we have used square root, so that is square root is there. And then in the numerator, in the denominator, started here, and it has a fraction, and frac x hat 2 plus y hat 2, that means x square plus y square. This should be the numerator of the fraction, and c is the numerator of that fraction. So that is here x square plus y square by c, and then plus square root y within a square bracket y, then 3c, that means y root of 3c, that is here y root of 3c. So this will produce your output like this. So I hope that you just practice it and just concentrate and compare with these. Everything will be clear to you. Now go to our next one. Here some equations have been written, and in this case the equation includes sum and integer. So if an equation includes sum, then you have to write that sum as with the command \sum. Okay, so consider this x is equal to sum over n y square. To write this, we have to use x is equal to, okay, x is equal to then \sum, and if you wish to write the lower limit of this sum, then you have to use underscore and then the lower limit, and hat will produce the upper limit of the equation. So in this case of this sum, also in this case \sum hat m means sum over n is the upper limit. So that is here sum n, and then you know the that it will produce y square. So that is x is equal to sum over n y square. And then another example is here x is equal to \sum, and in this case if you so in the similar in this case also, if the limit contains more than one character, then that should be written within a curly bracket. So the underscore means the lower limit. So sum underscore x is equal to 1, that means the lower limit is x is equal to 1, and this hat 5, this will produce, this 5 will be the upper limit. So that is here x is equal to sum, lower limit should be x is equal to 1, that is here x is equal to 1, and the upper limit is 5, so that is upper limit is also 5, and then it is y square. Another example is here. Here is written x is equal to sum. X is equal to, here is because the lower limit contains more than one character, so we have to use a curly bracket, a pair of curly brackets, a couple of curly brackets. So that is there x is equal to minus infty. Infinity is written in this way. Infinity is written in this way, \infty. This will produce a number that is infinity, and the upper limit is \infty, that will also produce infinity. So the sum has the lower limit minus infinity and the upper limit is plus infinity, then x, this will give you x square and this will give you y square. That is here x is equal to minus infinity plus infinity, x square plus y square. Another example is here if you have an integration. If you have an integration within your equation, then the integration should be written with this command \int, and this will give you integration sign. And here also in the similar way that was written in case of summation. So the lower limit is written as underscore, and the upper limit is written as with a hat. So this will give you \int, that is integration sign will be here, and the lower limit is underscore a, so this is the lower limit, and b is the upper limit, then fx dx. So it will produce y is equal to integration, that is y equal to integration, the lower limit is a here and the upper limit is b, and fx dx. Another example is here, say to write in this case a number of equalities. So if you wish to write a number of equalities, then you have to use eqnarray, and it should be ended with eqnarray, array. So from the first, e is equal to integration, so int means integration, underscore m is equal to m underscore 0, that means m is equal to m indices 0 to m, that is here e is equal to m0 to m, then this will give you c square, and this is dm, so c square tm, and this will produce a new line, that is here. So mc, this will give mc square, then minus m underscore 0 mean m0 c square, this will give you c square, that is here mc square minus m0 c square, and this will finally give you m minus m underscore 0 means m minus m0 into c square, that is. So this is not very difficult to understand, just compare this input and output, everything will be clear to you. Next, go to another interesting cases where Greek words or symbols have been written, and in this case how to write Greek words or symbols, that is given here. And I have used a star sign here because I don't want to write equation number with every equation, so that's why star sign is there, and that will produce you like this without any equation number. So see, for the first case DELT, if you wish to write the delta, write the Greek word small letter in a small letter in small case delta, you have to write the backslash DELTA. It will produce you this like this. And if you desire to write delta in uppercase, then you have to write the first word of delta is as capital or uppercase DELTA. That is here backslash DELTA, that it will produce this like this. And similarly beta and theta and capital theta should be started with capital T, then mu pi, and this will produce capital P means capital pi. And see, just go through all these terms, all these things, and that will the output is here, and you will understand how to write delta, capital delta, beta, theta, capital phi, mu, pi, capital pi, sigma, capital sigma, phi, capital phi, psi, capital psi, omega, capital omega, gamma, capital gamma, delta, partial, this is used for partial differential equations, and gradient or you know that gradient or nabla, that can be written as backslash nabla. Okay, so Greek words, how to write Greek words are dealt here. Just compare and just try to remember, and if your equation consists of this type of Greek words, then you can comfortably use these comments. Now go to our next one here. This in this slide, some equations are written for your practice. So for the first case, see here, if you wish to write dtx e to the power x is equal to e to the power x, then if you, since it is a fraction, so start with frac, and then d is the denominator, and in the new d is the numerator and dx is the denominator. So d is the numerator and dx is the denominator. So e to the e and power, you know that to write, how to write the power with the power is written as with a hat sign. So this is equal to e to the x. So that will produce this. And in this equation, see here, in this equation d dx. So there should be a fraction sign. Fraction. So fraction d with the denominator, numerator, sorry, d the numerator and dx is the denominator. So this will give you d dx, and then integration is here 0 to infinity. So int will produce integration. The lower limit is 0 and the upper limit is infty, that means infinity. Then fs ds, that is equal to fx. So that is all here. And then the next one is x is equal to backslash sum, that means it will give you a summation, and it has underscore x is equal to minus infinity, that means the lower limit is infinity and the upper limit is plus infinity, then x square y square, and we have written this like this equation in just our previous slides. So that is here, and this equation also have been written in our previous previous slides, and this is a newer one. The newer one is these two equation. In the first equation, see here nabla. Nabla means it will give you gradient sign, and then our hat 2, that means nabla square. Okay, that is nabla square, and backslash p h phi, that will produce you small phi. So grad square phi, that is equal to this here is a fraction here. So fraction within this is the numerator and this is the denominator, and backslash rho will produce rho, that is this rho, and ESI and epsilon will produce epsilon. So grad square phi is equal to rho by epsilon, and it is nothing but the famous Poisson equation, where phi is the potential and rho is the charge density, and this is the permittivity of the medium. So now go to the next equation. It is here. It has started as backslash hat d. That means it will produce d hat, and then fraction in the denominator. See here d plus n factorial. This factorial is written in this way. So d plus n factorial, that is d plus n factorial, and the denominator n factorial, d factorial, that is here. And you know that the numerator or denominator should be written within a pair or couple of curly brackets. So it is not very difficult to understand. Just look and compare this input and this output. Okay, now this is the last section. In writing your article or report or book, everything you can write in your LaTeX editor, and in that LaTeX editor sometimes you will need to use some information from other article or other books or anywhere, any books, article, etc. So in that case you have to refer, you have to cite those articles and to or those reports or writings, etc. So to do this you have to use the bibliography or the reference, and in that means you have to reference, you have to use the reference item to indicate from where you have taken your info here. See here, there are some sentences written here, and I have taken these information. See here, this information from two articles, and these articles are numbered as 1 and 2. That means I have to indicate from where this has been taken. That is from article. This information is taken as 1 and 2. That means in my document, in your document, you have to cite means you have to just indicate from where you have taken those informations. So that should be written in at the bottom of your document, and I have written that from 1 and 2. From these two articles I have taken this information, and here is 3, then here is 3, and this information is taken from the reference number 3, and this information is taken as from reference number 4 and 5. Now I have to just here report from where I have taken these informations, and to do this I have to write a reference at the bottom of my document, and to do this I have to use the comment like this: begin bibliography. That means it will produce the bibliography. That means the articles that I have already discussed it, and the article or report from where you have taken this type of informations, and that should be cited. And that means their sources should be written. Their sources should be written, and to do this we have to use the comment like this: begin the bibliography. Right? See here within the curly bracket, the bibliography, and then I have used here 99 within another curly brackets, and then this is the first one. This is the first item. That is the first reference number 1. This is the number 2, and that should be written in B item. That is in the reference. The items should be written in this way: /B item, and within curly bracket 1. That will produce you the number 1. That is here. See here, the output is here. So the first reference is here 1. That means here is 1 is there. So if see just the output, and you can understand that the information 1 and 2, and the information from where the sources are written here, that is 1 and 2. 1 is this and 2 is this. That means from the writer are O Tamada, etc., and it is taken as Journal of Solid State Chemistry. This is a journal, and it 126 is the volume number, and this is the number 1 is the page number, and this is actually the year of publication. And see here, it is bold, written in bold. So since I have taken as the command TEXTBF, that means it will produce in bold format. So that is here 1 2 6, etc. So B item number 2, that means it will give you the second source. That means this source, number source 2. I have written the second sources here, and in this way all the sources are written here, and that produces output like this. Okay, and in this case, just remember one thing that see here, go through these lines. Just I have written here that the argument, the bibliography, is used to setting the hanging in identification of the bibliography items. That means in this case, I have just see here that I have used 5 bibliography or 5 articles or journals. So in this case, I have used 5 sources. So since it is below 10, that is up to 9, so I had to write here 9 within curly brackets 9. So if you write within this curly bracket a number 9, that means your number of item in this bibliography would be 0 to 9, that is less than 10. And if the number is higher than 9, that is 10 to 100, then you have to use 99. So I have written 99. It is not mistake because 5 belongs to 99. So this will produce the output. In this case, no mistake will be shown. Okay, and if the number of items in this bibliography is exceeds than 100, then you have to use 99, another 9. So to how to write the bibliography, how to cite or how to write references in your document, this is here. Just go through this, and this is the lecture of this is the end of this lecture. I hope that you have understood everything, and you have to just go through all these things, and everything will be clear to you.